First and foremost, thank you for watching. Secondly, what's up? It's LJ. Hey, look, there's a lot of Destiny content that's about to hit the channel in the upcoming week and a half. So just heads up. Of course, we're putting up the full playthrough of the game. We are putting up the strike individually because some things happened in that strike, and I'm gonna make an edit of that. And then, of course, the end of everything. Now, we didn't attempt day one raid. I ain't got it. My raid team ain't ready for that, bro. I don't. But the mission after that, the 12-man joint and the final full ending of the game, the quote-unquote final cutscene, yeah, that's going up too. So all of those are coming in the upcoming week to week and a half. I'm working on editing all those videos now. But in the middle of all of that, and of course of me enjoying the game and being frustrated about the day one, I'll talk about it, don't worry. Destiny 2 Vidoc went live and it's talking about the journey ahead. So heads up, there may be spoilers concerning the end game. So if you have avoided spoilers up until this point and you want to play it for yourself, then by all means. But I mean, this is talking about the journey after the things that happened with the witness. But if you're here and you're rocking, by all means, you can get to it. If you enjoy the content, man, consider subscribing to the channel. We're close to 500. We're on the road to 1,000. I enjoy talking back and forth with you guys in the comments as well. Yeah, man, I figured I just pull out the pink beanie one time. You feel me? One more time. Actually, nah, it's like low-key one of my favorite pets. I don't really know why. It is. Anyway, Destiny 2, the journey ahead. Let's jump into it. I don't know how the volume is. Let me check. Loud as hell. All right, we're good. Let's run it. So, yeah, I wasn't that interested in the episodes things until
Episodes
after.
are telling singular stories that stand on their own, that are also building up mysteries for the future of Destiny.
Hey, Jason Reynolds.
For the episodes, we introduced this single object of immense power. An echo is a direct result of the battle with the witness.
All of the darkness that was holding it together exploded out, colliding with the matter-making properties of light, manifesting all of these different memories and...
Stop for a second. There was, at the very end, there were things that shot out of the Pale Heart. So I wonder if this is tying to that. You know what I mean? I mean, most likely it is, right? Like, it's gotta be.
Side of the witness.
This collision of darkness and light created this explosion, and so these echoes spread across the galaxy.
Okay, this is exactly what happened. Okay, so the echoes are a result of our battle.
The first echo that we encounter landed on Nessus. What they find is that this echo has transformed the planet, awoken it into some...
Okay, so if you don't know, if you have not gone back to Nessus, first things first, one of the strikes is unavailable right now. Secondly, they're having earthquakes in Nessus. So this is interesting.
The first echo that we encounter landed on Nessus. What they find there is that this echo has transformed the planet, awoken it into something it's really not supposed to be.
Great.
So we go down to Nessus, and we immediately realize that the Vex are acting a little strange. So we work with Failsafe and the first activity, Breach Executable.
New armor.
This is a 3-player activity, arena style, kind of offensive that we haven't really done before.
Okay.
Got these big cool like geysers of radiolaria that explode out of the ground, and you need to cap them off while you're keeping the enemies at bay.
Things that have only existed in the Vex net are now coming out into the real world. You're gonna see that like Nessus is different now.
So they're really evolving the game.
Towards the core, it really starts to become very apparent.
So you're gonna go down into these landmarks and you're gonna unearth the ancient secrets of a lost civilization.
We have a mysterious new enemy, and they are able to do things that we have not encountered in an enemy before. We're seeing new behavior from
We got Talking Vex.
Who is behind this, but also what are they doing and to what end?
Interesting. Okay. Revenant.
Revenant is going to be very Fallen theme.
The Fallen don't have a home planet anymore. Reese has been gone for a long time, and they've been looking for a new home across the galaxy.
Revenant has more dark fantasy themes. It's about slaying vampires with a touch of Splicer mixed in.
Really?
The player gets to be a Slayer Baron. We'll learn that in Elixni culture, this was a role that was reserved for the most renowned monster hunters.
Okay, that's interesting.
Took a really hard lean into the vampire hunter fantasy.
Okay.
We're introducing the system called potion crafting. Combat
potion crafting
your artifact directly, then your loot
really?
potions, those are going to allow you to have agency over the rewards that you're chasing. What
Okay.
we'd like to do in year 10 is give players more agency in their pursuits. You'll see more experiences where you can kind of decide what you want to do in this next step.
Fickrul is back, and he's got the Echo. Fickrul's using to
Fickrul.
build his new army of darkness, and he's moved into an awoken watchtower. Fickrul's vampire keeper. We took a lot of inspiration
Okay.
from horror for that one.
Okay. All right, they're doing the thing. They're doing the thing that I mentioned before. Now, I know one of the last videos I put up, I talked about how Bungie can lean into horror, and people were like, the flood! Yeah, I get it. But that was like sci-fi shock to a degree. Now, granted, when I played it for the first time, it felt like horror. Even the music, the beep, 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 beep. The soundtrack was nuts, and it fit the horror aesthetic. That wore off by the end of the game. By the time you got to the end of Halo, it didn't feel like horror fighting those enemies again. I'm curious about that one. Real curious about that one. I hope they lean hard into the horror aspect. Because if they're going Vampire Hunter, gotta lean in a little bit, right?
Heresy is about the Hive Pantheon dealing with
Hey,
some
half story.
new interesting revelations that happen. We want to take the Hive Pantheon and shake up the snow globe. It
Okay.
means that we want to take the existing relationships that we see inside of it and put them through such a stress test that they come out changed.
In Heresy,
Okay, so what that sounds like to me is that if you read the Ill Intent, Ill Omen, I think is what it's called. It's a weapon from this season. It's talking about Eris Morn at the enchantment table with the cards and how she can still kind of tap into them. And so she starts to kind of mess with it just to kind of see what's up. It shows that her and Savathun and Xivu Arath are connected. That's gonna be interesting, and especially if you got to the end of the 12 player activity and you got the final cutscene, you see that there's one scene specifically where it looks like Savathun is grabbing Oryx's sword. I'm not by Fifth. I'm not one of the lore guys, so I can't answer that. But that seems like this episode might address that.
there's this new eldritch force that's bubbling up to the surface that is opening new doors, creating powerful mysteries, and ultimately they'd lead us back to the Dreadnought.
Really?
The Dreadnought. It's awesome.
Really? Back to the Dreadnought, huh?
Some fans might think we've forgotten about the Dreadnought completely.
I did. I was one of the fans, for sure.
We're gonna give it a whole new purpose.
I'm in. Okay. Well,
We
we'll
want
see.
this to be an eldritch, inscrutable fortress of secrets.
The peeling that you'll see on the Dreadnought, the weapons themselves are peeling back to reveal a new, spooky, bony front.
Really?
Since this release deals with kind of two big themes, we have two armor sets. We've had some
Okay.
armor sets that are kind of in the Eris theme in the past, but this is like straight up, I'm Eris's squad.
I like
And
it.
then the Hive
I rock
Ship
with Eris.
Navigator armor set explores like, what if we were driving the ship? What if we were the navigators?
If you really like
Interesting.
Shattered Realm, if you really liked the Coil, you're going to love this new Dreadnought activity. With every episode, there are a ton of interesting twists and turns that I don't think anybody's really going to suspect. We
Okay.
haven't seen anything like this in Destiny before, and I'm excited to get after it.
Okay. Putting a lot of weight on it. But we'll see. Year 11, codename Frontiers. Okay, so they're still committed to it. Now I'm concerned a little bit, and you'll see why in like a little in later videos. But one of the things I'm concerned, you know what? Let's talk about it. So one of the things that I'm concerned about, and I've always kind of been concerned about, especially after the debauchery of a day one launch that we had. Good. I don't even want to talk about it in this video. One of the things that I'm concerned about is the future of Bungie as being independent and doing what they want to do. I say independent, but as far as having creative control and being able to do the things that they want. I have sneaking suspicions about why Sony may or may not have leaked certain things, but you know, we're not gonna talk about that here. What I'm gonna say is that the fact that they're committed to this far, this long, I hope that they're able to establish it, because one of the things that I enjoyed about the end of the Light Darkness campaign with the Final Shape, with the story at least, is that it's not often that we get to see a developer actually craft the swan song that they want to craft, and this one felt like it hit almost all the right things. I mean, this is showing that it's not the end of the universe, which is great, but I'm still kind of curious as if it'll be able to hold people going forward. I think I'm interested enough to see what's going on, because how they tied everything from the end of the saga to the Quakes on Nessus, and Failsafe being one of my favorite characters in the game, I'm gonna lean in for that, and we'll talk about it and we'll see how it goes. This looks cool. I'm very interested to see what that means and how it plays out. And I will say this, and then after this I'll let you guys go. This ain't gonna be no long reaction video. Anytime Bungie needs 6 months to make something, give them the damn 6 months. We'll talk about it more when we actually get to the reaction for Final Shape and everything, but long story short, man, just give them the 6 months. The Pale Heart's incredible. There's a lot of things that's happening in that situation and on that planet, and the connecting things that I did not expect. Some of the more creative gameplay loops and mechanics, how they've been remixing almost every raid mechanic for public events. Like, it's just so many thoughts and attention to detail that I didn't think they had time to do. I just hate that they had time to put all that detail into it and they couldn't figure out how to make their game work for the first 9 hours. I don't know if they'll be able to get that momentum back, but for the people that does return to the game after that, they are in for a treat. Game's good. Game's good. Game is good.